What is up, everybody? Joe here, budgetboss.ca. It's May the 7th. It is Thursday. We're getting close to the weekend. Even though it doesn't feel like a weekend, we're still locked up. One thing that's really good, though, is that we're actually starting to loosen the restrictions. So hopefully everyone is taking everything as seriously as we have been. Get that distancing in, wear your mask, wear your gloves, sanitize, wash your damn hands, do whatever you got to do. As you can see, I'm rocking my Gordon Gekko look-alike look. Still haven't had a haircut. We are approaching almost a 2-month period with no haircut for me. So let's see how that goes. Maybe we'll be opening up hair salons and barbershops here in London, Ontario soon. So today I want to jump into a client confessional. And the reason I want to talk about this is during my 30-day COVID campaign for financial awareness, I talked about the markets a lot. I did a daily update on the markets. And what I wanted to do is give you a real-life example of someone who's invested with me and what actually happened during this whole period. Now, this young lady invested $700,000 with me back in September of 2019. So we're looking at about 8 months ago. And she received this money in an inheritance form. So for her, my major goal was to actually get used to having this large sum of money, not blow it all, and actually get used to the markets, feel the markets, understand what happens when days go up and days go down, and her emotional reaction to that. So we threw her in an advanced portfolio because she has a long time horizon. But for her, I wanted to make sure that she could handle sort of seeing the ups and downs. So I gave her periodic updates, making sure that she can actually see and understand and how she feels when the markets go down. Now, the one thing that I'll warn you is that during that whole period, she actually experienced some good growth right away. So come February of this past year, February 20th, her account from 700,000 was already up to 797,000. That's really, really good. So she was seeing about a 14% increase from the time that she put her money in. $97,000 profit in about 6 months. That's pretty impressive. And obviously for her, she's excited about that. It's pretty awesome. Oh my God, my money's making money. This is a cool feeling. For someone who's so young, she never felt anything like that before. Now, obviously pretty exciting. At that point, the markets have all reached their heights. We're looking at the Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and TSX in Toronto. All reached record heights around mid-February. So February 20th, they reached the record heights. Sadly, 1 month later, on March 23rd, they reached record bottoms, record drops from that high. We saw about a 38% decrease in the markets in a 1 month span. And what that was from, obviously, was coronavirus. The shock, the awe of the coronavirus, where people did not know what to do. They were scared. Investors were pulling money, throwing it into cash. And at this point, her account, original investment $700,000, had grown to $797,000 on February 20th. By March 23rd, her account was $530,000. A $170,000 decrease from the original $700,000. And she lost about $267,000 from her record high that she had before. We're looking at about a 34% decrease she had in 1 month. 1 month. Pretty wild, eh? Now, at this point in time, I was reaching out to her over the past, from that point, March 23rd, for 2 weeks prior to that. Out to her periodically. I think about 4 times I reached out to her to see if she was paying attention to the markets and whatnot and understanding what's happening with her money, because there were some dramatic losses and some dramatic days on the stock market where we saw record drops in 1 day span. We saw a 20% decrease on certain days during that period of time. Around March 23rd, I actually talked to her and spoke to her. I'm like, have you seen your account? Have you been looking at your account? She's like, I haven't. But my parents have been talking to me, and they say I should pull my money out of the market. And I asked her why. Why should you pull your money out of the market? Well, Mom and Dad told me that actually right now we are losing a lot of money, and we could actually lose it all. So my idea to her was to no, we do not pull out of the market. And the reason being is because we're fully vested in the market right now. And if we take our money out, we will not get the subsequent rebound that probably will come very shortly. So what we saw during the month of April was the largest stock market increase in the history of the stock market. Now, what that comes from is the fact that the month of March was probably the largest loss in the history of the stock market. So we had a subsequent increase of the market in April that was the largest in history. If she had pulled her money out and put it into cash, like her parents had said, or just gotten out of the market altogether, she would not have been able to take advantage of that. So as of today, May 7th, her account is at $630,000. It was at 530. In the month since then, it's grown to $630,000. That is still down from her original deposit of $700,000. And it's still down, obviously, from the market highs of February 20th. But we have seen a 19% increase, roughly 19%, since the huge lows of March 23rd. So just 1 month later. Now, if I told you that you wait 1 month and you will get $100,000 back, would you not do it? Yes, you probably would, right? No. So in my opinion, I think that people need to truly understand that these market lows and dramatic swings all happen in ebbs, and we need to actually make sure that we're staying invested in the market. Now, that doesn't mean that it could not go back down again, and it quite frankly, it might. But what we need to understand is if we have a long-term horizon, we are not worried about the periodic declines and the periodic rises in the market. The big reason why is because if we actually get out of the market at these periods, we will lose that subsequent uptick back again. Now, think about if she actually got out of the market back then, right at March 23rd, when the markets were at their lowest, and now finally felt comfortable and got back in with the $537,000 that she had left of her original investment. She loses the uptick, and what usually happens in these situations is when there's a dramatic fall, there's a dramatic increase in what people actually stabilize and then start buying because the market's low. So anyone that has cash on the sidelines will throw it into the market. So my hope for my clients is that if you have cash on the sidelines, get in when it's low. I have several clients that got in at the low point, and actually their initial investment is down, but when they got in more at the low point, they are now back to even. Now this particular client is not back to even, and it could take a while to get back to even. But if I were to tell you it took a year to get back to even to where she was, or even at her initial investment, $700,000, would you not wait that year? What if it took 2? Would you not wait those 2 years? Ultimately, you need to understand that panicking during these periods is going to cost you a lot of money. And for her situation, it would have cost her $100,000 in gains since the market lows. And it could actually cost her even more if she didn't get in at the right time. So if she waited even longer to get back in, and when she felt comfortable again, she would have lost even more. So I want people to understand that this is a real life client. Now, obviously, this is a dramatic example because she has a larger amount in there. But if your account is, say, $50,000 and it goes down to $40,000 or $35,000, what you need to understand is that it will come back. Don't panic. Don't fret. It will come back. The biggest issue is your patience and how you handle it. And that's why during this whole coronavirus, since it started, I've been telling people, focus on your day-to-day. Focus on your income, slimming down the budget. Your investments will handle themselves. And you don't have to worry about them in that sense, because the big thing about it is that if you leave them alone, they will do it on their own. The markets correct themselves. We have no control of the market. All we have is control over our emotions during these periods. So that is my client confessional for today. I want people to understand exactly what's going on. And if you have about the market, or you actually want to understand how your investments are performing and what's going on during this coronavirus, please shoot me a message, joe@budgetboss.ca, or you can DM me across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, @JoeBudgetBoss, or you can go on the website, budgetboss.ca/contact, book a meeting, book a phone call, or get on the email list if you want to do it that way. So guys, have a great day, and remember, don't panic. And one more thing, long hair, don't care.